So how's working on my novel going? So I wanted to sit down and talk about it because I feel like I'm stuck. And I feel like I'm challenged in some ways. So I'm working on Olivia's book, which is a standalone in my forgiveness book series. Home Sweet Home is the first novel that is already out, and then now I'm working on Olivia's book. That is not the official title, that is just what I'm calling it now. And I don't know how much to share, but I guess to make you understand and for me to like talk it out, I have to say this. So Olivia is a character that you meet and see, excuse me, in Home Sweet Home. I'm drinking Spindrift. It's water, but this is tropical lemonade, which tastes like a smoothie but in water form, and I find it delicious. But it does make me burp. A lot of Spindrift drinks make me burp. So yeah, sorry for the burp. But yeah, so you meet Olivia in Home Sweet Home, and her book is different in many ways, but I'm trying to figure out because I'm just hitting this wall with my writing, well, with these two stories in general. Of I don't want it to feel so heavy, like so much heavy topics, so much scary things or heavy things happening. And when I say scary, I mean like traumatic events happening. And on the one hand, it is relevant to the plot that I wrote. But on the other hand, where I'm at as a writer right now, I want to move past these traumatic events and more show relatable characters going through hard struggles when it comes to like family, relationships, whether that's friendships or a romantic relationship, and just societal circumstances. I more want to show like contemporary fiction that way versus like too much traumatic events. But that is what my story is about currently, and so I'm trying to weave a way to still show it but also get to the heart of my story, which is about forgiving self, forgiving family members, forgiving circumstances that led to how things are, and the idea of can you forgive. And so that's like a part of the heart of the story, as well as just like how do you overcome what you've been through? Or not overcome it, but how do you move forward after what you've been through? How do you put yourself back into society or back into your familiar situation, even when you're a changed person? And I like this topic. I like that I'm touching on this. Is just, I feel like my plot line is slightly heavy. And it goes in and out because I don't know how to share without saying too much. That's the frustrating part because I don't want to spoil anything. But there is some hard losses that I feel like is easier to weave with the plot of like how do you move through that, because loss does happen. Losing a family member, losing a job, that does happen. But then other situations that I'm having my characters go through, I feel like is not as generalized. And so it's still an interesting topic to touch on. But I'm also like, do I need to touch on it? But then I'm also like, I kind of already touched on it in Home Sweet Home. So I shouldn't just like delete it for Olivia's book because I kind of need it for like the whole plot of the story, which goes back to should I finish these stories as they are and then, well, Home Sweet Home is done, but finish Olivia's book as it's meant to be, I guess. And then just moving forward with my other books, my other writing, know that I don't want to make it too heavy when it doesn't have to be so much in one book. Because I think that is also what it is, that I'm adding so much in one book. Plus, Home Sweet Home, I started when I was in high school. And so it's a lot of the ideas I had in high school. A lot I deleted, I did not keep. But some I kind of kept. And I think I kept it just for like my younger self. Excuse me. But me now, I wouldn't want to do that moving forward as a writer. And so I think it's also that, like, I'm doing this for my younger self while also making a strong story. But moving forward, I would want to change, or moving forward, I want to make relatable characters, but I also don't want them going through so much. And I also want, because I like to have my stories have hope, have my stories show how the characters are moving through these hard situations. And so I want to focus on that, on how do we help people. And through my characters, how do we help my characters in situations, in circumstances, in big feelings and big emotions, or big things that are happening or going on. And so, yeah, and I know it goes back to reading. I am a slow reader, and somehow I'm juggling like 3 books, and 2 are audio, 1 is an ebook, but it does not relate right now. None of these books relate to like the genre I am writing, which I know I should be reading that because that can also help me. It used to be, it's not a fear right now, but it used to be a fear that reading those in my same genre, I don't want to feel like, oh, I'm going to copy their style or idea. Because when I was growing up, I read that because I wanted to just see that. I wanted to see how writers touched on it, how authors touched on these type of stories. And so I loved it. And so for me to not be reading that now is like, why? Like, why am I not doing this? It can help me as a writer still. My ideas were probably flowing so well when I was a kid because I was reading these stories that got me excited for my own author journey. So I need to read them again. So I know that is a part of it. And maybe that's just what I need to do, add a 4th book that I start, but hopefully finish sooner, so that I feel like I can understand how to touch on these topics in a way that is true to my writing and true to how I want the story to be shared and be connected with my reader. So yeah, that's where I'm struggling at right now, because I'm pushing myself to keep writing regardless of how I'm having this back and forth in my head. I don't want to like stop this editing process that I'm on because I just got back into working on my novel again. And so if I put it on halt again, it may be too long and I don't want that. And so I'd rather just keep pushing through it, do this draft, and then if I decide to like take out some parts, then I'll do it when I reread it again for the next draft. So yeah, this is just where I'm at. I think I also jumped on this video because talking out loud can help, I believe. And I don't know why I've been like not doing that. I forgot that I used to post videos like this, just talking it out. I saw other author tubers doing this when I found like the author tube community and the writing tube community. And so I need not lose this habit or beneficial way of getting my ideas flowing. So yes, that was my quick update. Well, maybe not so quick, but thank you so much for watching. I hope your writing is going well, and if not, I hope you find a breakthrough soon. And don't forget, just write your story, and take care.